We've all felt it, right? That incredible buzzing surge of excitement. But here's the big question. Is it a superpower that helps us do amazing things, or is it more like a dangerous fire that can totally burn us out? This question really gets at a deep conflict in how we're all told to live, constantly pitting our passion against our need for control. So today, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Just think about it for a second. That moment of just pure, unfiltered enthusiasm. Maybe you just had a breakthrough idea, or you're about to give a big presentation, and someone leans over and tells you to calm down. It's a weird feeling, isn't it? You feel more alive than ever, but the world is basically telling you to hit the brakes. Well, that exact contradiction is what we're diving into today.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start by really defining this whole excitement dilemma. Then, we'll look at the case for being cautious. After that, we'll explore the powerful argument for having more excitement in our lives. And finally, we'll see how these two ideas come together in a balanced approach to living a really exuberant life.
Okay, first up, the excitement dilemma. It's this strange mixed message we get all the time. On one hand, society tells us, chase your passions, be driven, go for it. But on the other hand, we're constantly warned, whoa, don't get carried away. It's that classic, go for it, but, not too far.
And this is where it gets really confusing, right? Because every success story you hear seems to involve someone with this burning passion, this unstoppable excitement for what they do. But then we're also told that overexcitement just clouds our judgment and makes us do rash things, make costly mistakes. So which one is it? Is excitement a tool, or is it a trap?
So, to explore that side of caution, let's take a look at the perspective of motivational speaker Muni Chowdhury. She makes a really compelling case that, yeah, excitement is necessary, but there's a very real danger in letting it get out of control.
And she backs this up with a pretty startling claim. She says that a whopping 99% of people react poorly when they're facing a problem. They choose to escape, get distracted, rather than actually confronting the issue. And she argues this whole tendency gets way worse when we're overexcited, because it makes us even more likely to just run away from our problems.
This chart really nails her core point. Look at the divide here. A healthy level of excitement, that leads to clear decisions, success, thoughtful action. But once it tips over that line into overexcitement, our judgment gets poor, our actions turn into mistakes, and we end up with failure. So for Chowdhury, it's not about getting rid of excitement, it's about keeping it on the productive side of this line through moderation and control.
But what if control is the wrong way to think about this entirely? Let's flip the script and turn to a completely different perspective from the spiritual leader Sadhguru. He comes at this with a really powerful counterargument, and it all boils down to one simple question. Why would you ever want less life?
This quote, this really gets to the heart of his philosophy. For Sadhguru, excitement isn't some problem we need to manage or control. It's a sign that you are truly, deeply alive. So if you suppress your excitement, you're actually suppressing life itself. He believes the goal should never be to dampen our experience, but to embrace its full intensity. So Sadhguru presents us with two very different ways to live. On one side, you've got the safe path. You're quiet, you're peaceful, but you're also only half alive. On the other side, you have the ideal, being exuberantly alive and still peaceful. He's saying it's not an either-or choice. The real goal is to have both.
And this, right here, is the key insight. He completely reframes the whole debate. The issue isn't that excitement is dangerous. The issue is that most of us haven't built the inner stability and balance we need to handle that level of energy without it all going sideways. Think of it this way. It's not that the car is too fast, it's that we haven't learned how to drive it.
So here we are with two views that seem to be complete opposites. One is all about control. The other is about exuberance. But what if they aren't opposites at all? What if they're actually two sides of the same coin? This brings us to what I think is the true answer: balance. This is the idea that bridges that gap. See, inner balance isn't about being numb or neutral, not at all. It's about developing a center of gravity that's so strong that you can be fully, intensely, exuberantly excited, the way Sadhguru talks about, without falling into that trap of poor judgment that Chowdhury warns us about. It's the skill of handling the fire without getting burned.
So the big question is, how do we actually build this balance? And this is where it all comes together so beautifully. The practical steps that Muni Chowdhury recommends are the exact roadmap for building the inner stability that Sadhguru is talking about. Experiment with dedication. Give 100% to build your resilience. Learn to handle tension instead of running from it.
Her practical advice is basically the how-to guide for his philosophical goal. All right, this brings us to our final and honestly most important section. What does all this mean for you? How can you actually apply it to live a more exuberant life?
Okay, if you remember one thing, let it be this. Instead of asking, how do I control my excitement, try asking, how do I build the capacity to handle more of it? The solution isn't to put a ceiling on your experience of life. The solution is to strengthen yourself, to build a stronger foundation so you can experience life more fully, more intensely, and with a whole lot more joy.
And so we end with the choice that Sadhguru puts right in front of us. Do we play it safe, living a quiet, kind of half-lived life? Or do we do the work, build that inner balance so we can live with vibrant, exuberant excitement? The answer, of course, is up to you.